Hey, what up? It's Master Crunk. Now, I'm revealing to the world my prototype design called the ZEN Claw 2.0. And what I wanted to do was bring the PC experience to the mobile community and be able to actually have physical buttons that we're able to press instead of having everything on the touchscreen. Now, what I did was, in my first design, I had these little rocker switches that you'd press on it, and this little piece of copper tape, you'd put your finger here, and you push down and you touch a contact underneath. And what would happen is that the consistency of the rocker would kind of twist and misfire and just wasn't making proper contact as I was trying out this trigger design. I was looking at an old keyboard and I go, hey, it'd be a great idea if I took those keys and put them onto the iPad. And I grabbed these little switches and surprisingly, they fit perfectly into the exact same spots as these little rocker switches. I mean, almost identical. They actually fit in there. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I made this, and if you want to make one yourself, by all means. But currently, right now, I do not have any of the STL files available as of this time until I have perfected the complete design, because the complete design is going to have a total of 8 buttons on this side over here, so you're actually 6. I'm going to do 6, probably 6. I'm going to do another row up here as well, and then over here as well, I'm going to have 2 or 3 buttons with a new trigger design, which would be pretty cool. I'm going to show everybody what that looks like when I complete the 3.0 prototype. Now, the way it works is you have a piece of copper tape, which I call the plate, and you have all these green wires, which is a silicone wire. You have to use a silicone wire. If not, use like a standard like plastic coated wire. It does not work very well. It has to be the silicone wire. Now, this is your conduction plate, I would say, where you want to keep your hand on touching. That is going to store the electricity. It's going to travel from your hand to the switch. Then the switch is going to redirect, depending on which switch and which wire. The red wire is from the out of the switch. As long as you have your hand on the copper tape, you're going to be able to scope in. If you don't have your finger on the trigger, you're not going to be able to pull the trigger until you put your hand on it. Then you're able to shoot. Just like that. Very simple design. I'm currently going to be testing some PLA, which I don't think the PLA is going to work very well. I did print these in TPU. Is working phenomenal with no issues, even with the original design that I created. Now, if you notice on the back of the trigger here, you notice that I cut away some of the tape because it was resting against the iPad casing here, and once it rested against it, it caused the triggers to not fire properly or even fire at all. Because I believe the electricity was traveling into the iPad case instead of into the screen. Some of the problems that I experienced when creating the triggers with the original concept, when I actually just taped the tape to the actual iPad, it wouldn't work very well until I put Capcom tape on the actual iPad, then applied the tape over top of it. And I used that for a very long time until my hands were kind of cramping up. I want to create something more ergonomic to be able to play these mobile games. So here is my first concept design of the mobile trigger. Just very easy to use, and I think it just makes it more ergonomic instead of having to contort your fingers in all these weird positions and your hands are all like knotted up and you're like, oh, carpal tunnel. This is going to make it a lot easier to actually play mobile games. And you just literally resting your hand in a natural position and keep your fingers in one particular orientation and just move your thumbs around like you're playing a controller, you could almost say. Like, I mean, the controller is still, it's very ergonomic, but then the same problem, you have to press these A, B, Y, X, A, and you're taking your thumb off the control, but then you got to play claw like this. And then, of course, you got the other Pro controllers with the buttons at the bottom. Like why don't we have controllers that are like this big? We have all the buttons underneath like this. It's more ergonomic, but no. Yeah. For another time. So, this here is going to make mobile gaming a lot easier to play. It's going to change everything up. Bringing the PC experience to the mobile community. I know there's been people are saying out there, why don't you just play the game normal? I don't want carpal tunnel. So, do me a favor, smash that follow button, hit that notification bell. Also, check me out on Facebook. I do live stream there often. I live stream mobile games, PC games, Xbox games, variety of different titles, even VR. So, go over there, smash that follow button as well. And until then, peace.